Ma'am, this is on stubble burning. So do you think that have states been successful in controlling stubble burning despite availability of farmer machinery at subsidized level and policy intervention as well? What's your thought on this?
Obviously not. But Haryana has done a better job than Punjab last year. No question about it. All data is showing that. But I'm also told, and something we want to look at for this year is that it's about what data you're using to count the number of fires as well. Because there are many satellites in which data you use. But the larger point is, wo bichara kisan karega kya? I mean, why do they burn stubble? Let's get some idea about that. And so then we can look for what's the solution. And why has stubble burning only become a problem in the last 15 years? So, farmers always burnt stubble. They've in fact burned stubble twice a year, once in April and then once again when the crops are harvested. Why did you never feel it in Delhi? Because the farmers basically burnt stubble in September when there were retreating monsoons and the wind would take it away and you would never feel it. What changed is, and that's where the balance comes in, knowing what happens. What changed was the fact that because of groundwater depletion in Punjab, and rightly so, the government mandated that you could only sow paddy after the 10th of June, so that you did not use the groundwater for the first two sowing, for the period when there was no rain. You would wait for the rains to come. So you would do one irrigation and then you would have the rain. So the idea was to save groundwater, to shift the date of paddy growing, planting. Now, because the date of paddy planting has shifted, the date of paddy harvesting has shifted. So you have now shifted the harvest of paddy from September to mid-October, November. And that happens when Diwali happens, when inversion happens, and we choke. Now, if you want to get farmers not to cut stubble, not to burn stubble, you're going to have to give them a viable alternative to the value of stubble. The government has tried. There are some bio-CNG projects that have been set up in Punjab. Verbio has set up some, others are setting it up. It's not happening at the scale that it needs to. So when I go back to the first question I was asked, what would I like to see different? I would like to see these implementation happen and at fast. I mean, when CNG came into Delhi, and I was very much part of that, we brought in 100,000 vehicles in a matter of a year. Okay? The entire infrastructure for CNG was created in 1.5 years. You could see the scale so that you could see a difference. That's the same thing that will have to happen with stubble burning. So government's on the right approach, but it just needs to make sure that that happens at scale now.